Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk about something while it's on my mind and while I have this kind of fresh in my mind and on my heart today, and that is the topic of how to talk to your physician. So the way that this topic has come up and the way that this has become something I've think about or thought about lately is that in our society right now, more and more, people are better and better educated. Okay, people know that they have options. People want more options. They want to, they're researched, they're educated. We have the internet. People are able to look around and see, hey, there's a lot of options out there. Hey, Jen. And they want to know that they have the access to these options and they want to try them. At the same time, they may not feel inclined to include their physician in this decision. They may not feel inclined to include their physician in a discussion about it. But at the same time, maybe they're under a physician's care, and maybe this is a person who has prescribed medications for them, so they're concurrently taking medications, but they're wanting to try something else at the same time. And the gap there is a discussion, is a collaboration with their physician. So maybe they're afraid to share what they know. Maybe they just aren't inclined, okay? So I have a unique perspective on this because I've been on both sides of the exam table. I've been the prescriber and I've been the patient. And lately, I've actually had some, physicians reach out to me and ask me how we can, which I was surprised actually, ask me how we can help people to have a better perception of them and to avoid some of these misconceptions about physicians. And I agree with that. I really do. Okay, so this is assuming that you want to maintain a relationship with your physician. And I recommend that. I do, because you never know when you might need your physician, okay? Because we get so well educated and because we're so we know so much and we have access to all this information, it's important that we don't get so cocky and on our high horse that we don't need a doctor. I don't need you. Well, you might one day. You just might. So it's really important to have a good relationship, a collaboration, something where you both feel good about it. So there's a couple of tips that I feel like from my experience as a prescriber and then my experience as a patient that I think might be helpful, okay? So the first one, give your provider the benefit of the doubt. I've been seeing a lot of people say, I shouldn't say a lot. I've seen people say that doctors just want money, okay? They want to write you prescriptions because they are going to get paid every time. And when they see you come in, they see money. Let me just set that to bed or to rest right away, because you guys, there is no shortage of sick people. I don't know any physicians that are out looking for sick patients to come and see them. I know most physicians are backed up and are scheduled out because they have so many people wanting to come see them. People are sick. So I don't think that physicians are out prowling and looking to make money off of you. That is their method of income, is treating you. But they're not paid, they're not directly reimbursed every time they write a prescription. That's a fallacy. Now you can do lots of research and see documentaries, but I'm talking from my personal experience. I've worked with many physicians. These physicians that I worked with actually had relationships with pharmaceutical companies, strong relationships. And so if those physicians, I was directly working with them, I was working as a mid-level provider with these physicians. If they had a relationship with those pharmaceutical companies that they were paid per prescription, trust me, I would have been given instructions to write for this medication most of the time. 100%, we would have been sat down, okay, we're writing for this drug company today, or this week, or this month, or forever, because that means something to me as a physician. That's my source of income. Never happened. Not one time, any of the doctors that I've ever worked with, was I ever instructed to focus my attention on a certain medication because that's where the money's at. Okay, so let's just put that to bed. The other thing that sometimes people think is that a physician wants to harm them. And so it's really important that if you're going to have a discussion with your physician, that you don't come in with skepticism, with suspicion, or maybe even seeing them as an adversary. Again, I'm assuming that you want to have a relationship with this person, that down the road, maybe you use all natural medicine, but maybe you want to come in and ask for labs. Maybe you need diagnostics. Maybe you need a referral. You might need that person for help other than a synthetic pharmaceutical prescription. So we don't want to just write people off and look at them as an adversary. And that energy you're going to bring into the conversation anyway, right? So that's not how you want to have the energy that you want to have. So we want to come in with giving them the benefit of the doubt that most physicians, when they went to school to help people. They want to help you. They maybe don't know how to help you, but they want to help you. They are not there to hurt you. They're not looking at you as prey. That is not the way that they're looking at you. And if you look at them that way, you can actually elicit that from them. You can, if you come in there with that energy, you can become prey to someone who had no intention of looking at you that way. So that's really important to know. Okay, the second thing is be educated. Be educated, but be respectful. Because look, these people went to school for a long time, and a lot of time they're proud of that, and they should be, right? They spend a lot of their time in school learning all of this stuff that they're really proud that they know. So you don't want to take that away from anybody. But sometimes, because we felt like we've been taken advantage of for so long, we learn something, we get a little bit of knowledge, and we take it into the doctor and say, yeah, I bet you didn't know this. Yeah, did you know about this new supplement? Oh no? Well, I do. Oh, trust me, if you come in with that type of energy and that type of attitude, they're going to shut down. Where they might have been open, they will shut down because you're trying to know more than them. When I was a prescriber, the best gift that you could have ever given me was for someone to have done research. So this is part of education. Done research on the topic that they want to discuss before they came in, gone through it, because what prescriber has 3 hours at the end of their long day to go read and look up a research study that someone recommended? No, but if you come in with the study, already read through, highlighted the pertinent areas, and give it to the provider and say to them, I thought you might find this interesting. This is something that I'd like to try. Let me know what you think. That's a gift. That is something that I would appreciate, and I would be so grateful that person. I would think of that person as someone who makes me better, but not in a threatening way. Okay, so that's the second thing. Educated, learn about what, and also as a patient, you know, so many times when we are given a prescription, we're in a state of inequity, or you're feeling so vulnerable because maybe you're anxious or maybe you're in pain that you just take whatever you're given. So that kind of leads me into the next step of being accountable and responsible as a partner in your care. Because if you go in and you're in a vulnerable state, whose fault is it really if you just take whatever is given to you and pop it in your mouth? Even though you trust your provider that they know what they're doing, it's still up to you to know what you're putting in your body. It's still really, really important that you know what it is that's been given to you, how it works in your body. If that means you need to ask your physician to explain it a little bit better before you take it, that's what you do. If it means that you need to ask the pharmacist to explain it a little bit better, that's what you do. If it means when you get home, you still don't really know what it is, then you do additional research and you know what it is that you're putting in your body so that you are informed if you're given another prescription by another physician, that maybe there's a possible interaction, or if you're taking a natural supplement, that this could possibly interact. You need to know that. Okay, so educated, again, respectful and accountable. You are accountable for what you're putting in your own body. You're not blaming the physician when you get a prescription and you come back. You really can't blame that person because you put it in your body. Yes, they're accountable for prescribing it, and they need to know what they're doing, and that's where the respect comes in because they've gone to school, right? But you took it. So it's an equal partnership too. Okay, so then put yourself in their shoes. Try to always seek first to understand before you want to be understood. I know it's hard, especially when you're suffering, but try to understand the physician's point of view and how they feel, And then if you just seek to understand them just a little bit, it's going to help you so much because they will naturally seek to understand you. So that's it, I guess. I just wanted to put that out there. If you really need to know, I guess the last thing was have a plan. If you're coming in and you're wanting to try something new, or you would like to maybe not be so reliant on some of the synthetic pharmaceuticals that you've been prescribed, maybe have a loose plan in place and approach the physician with that and say, what do you think? Maybe they are so overwhelmed by this whole thought of somebody that comes in there and says, okay, now I want all off of all of this. But if you have a plan, that's another gift. If you as a patient say, this is what I'm thinking. Maybe we could do this. What are your thoughts? That is a gift because you're taking some of the work off of me if I was prescribing, and you're showing me that you want to have a role in this, that you're not just going to be a victim, but you're going to be a partner. You're not just somebody that's helpless, but you are helpful. You're helping. You're giving something back. So yeah, that's my biggest, message would be to have that educated partnership and to know, take that responsibility to educate yourself so that you're empowered. But now these physicians, when I think about them now that I'm not prescribing anymore, and I think about the burden that they have to stay up to date with everything that they need to stay up to date with, and then there's this flood of natural alternatives, there's this flood of all these supplements that are coming in, there's no way that they can stay up to date and know all of this stuff. Zero. They're not going to know. We can't expect them to know. We can't expect them to safely practice and prescribe in this type of culture if we're not empowered and educated ourselves. So it's our job. Let's do that. Let's educate ourselves. Let's be respectful. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And maybe, just maybe, together, we can make some changes in the whole culture scape together. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I hope this helps.